Welcome to the Business Over Beer Happy Hour, a daily dose of support for business owners, entrepreneurs, and people passionate about what they do. Hosted by Ben Surratt, Jonathan Kaler, and Jason Knope, it's time to grab a beer, enjoy some cheer, and join together.
All right, everybody, and welcome to the Business Over Beer Happy Hour. I am your bartender for today, Ben. Across the bar for me is our good friend, Mr. Respect the Hair himself, Jonathan Kaler. Hello, Jonathan.
Hey, good evening, Ben. I, in fact, have showered 2 days in a row. I'm very proud of that. My hair looks good, getting all the hairs in place, all clean, trying to make myself feel good. Times are hard, but hey, we are here to serve. It is happy hour. I am sad, though, that, when we do our regular podcast, I'm the terror of power. But when we do the happy hour, I'm just your friend. So I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about that. That doesn't make me too happy. So work on that. Hey, speaking of not making me happy, across the bar for me is my good friend, Mr. Jason Knope. Jason, welcome to the program, man. Welcome to happy hour.
Thank you. It's nice to know I'm treated exactly the same as on the normal podcast.
Absolutely.
I appreciate
that. Some things can't change, man.
Hey, but you know what? I haven't done my nails like you have and print my hair, so we're all good in our own areas there. So,
well, hey, I gotta look the part. What can I tell you? So, hey, do we have a guest today on the happy hour?
I think we've got Emily Austin Powers on with us today from 360 Interiors.
Woohoo!
Excellent. Well, Emily, welcome to happy hour.
Thank you.
Emily, what are you drinking today? What's making you happy?
All right. So I have Tough Love from Crux. And
nice.
Have you had it?
I have not. I just like Crux though.
Oh yeah. It's a barrel-aged imperial stout from their Banished series.
Wow.
And so I just had to read the back. It says Banished series. It was for their own good. Beers in this special series are banished for months in oak barrels, allowing flavors to mature, meld, and mellow. So I just thought it was appropriate for this time.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, Jonathan, you actually went somewhere today and get your beer, didn't you?
I did, yeah. So I went out to 5440 Brewing out in Washougal, and that may seem scary for people who live in Southwest Washington, but I promise you it's not. It's only 20 minutes. It's closer than Ridgefield. It's closer than Philida. Downtown is only 15 minutes for me, so going over to Washougal is not that far. It's not that scary. I picked up a couple of things, but the beer that I am going to talk about is their newly released Crushed Velvet IPA. It is an oatmeal IPA, 7.4% alcohol by volume. And I am really, really excited to get into this. So I love oatmeal stouts. I love oatmeal pales. I've never had an oatmeal IPA, so I'm excited to get into this and see what it's all about. So let's crack this thing open because I'm thirsty.
Oh, that's a good sound.
It sounds good, but I have you beat. Mine is 11.5%.
Oh, jeez.
Damn.
This is going to be a great episode.
Yeah, she definitely is going to need to go on mute by the end of this.
Do I have to mute myself?
No, I'm joking with you. All right, so right out of the can, it's got kind of this beautiful orangish color. It's got an orangish hue to it. It's not as dark orange as like a hazy, but it definitely has an orange tint to it. Right off the nose, I mean the oatmeal comes through, the yeast comes through. I mean it smells like a brewery. You know that smell of the brewery when you walk in, and that's what this beer smells like. Mm. Oh man, that is the way I love to drink. It's not overly bitter, but it's got this huge mouth feel to it. I mean, with the oatmeal, it just it just overtakes your whole mouth. It's really delicious. It'll be interesting to see how it kind of opens up on the second and third drinks. But yeah, it's not overly hoppy. It's really kind of mellow from a bitterness standpoint. But it's a beautiful looking beer. If you love the smell of breweries, and which I do, it's a beautiful smelling beer. But yeah, newly released over at 5440. They are open Wednesday through Sunday. They're closed Monday and Tuesday, but open Wednesday through Sunday from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. They do have a kitchen, so go grab lunch, go grab dinner for carryout. They do growlers, crowlers, 4-packs of everything that they've got on tap. You can walk right in and get your beer and food to go. They also are working on delivery. They don't have it yet. But they are going to be delivering to the Washougal Camas area, at least to start here very soon. So go out and see these guys at 5440. I mean, they brew awesome beers anyway. I mean, their Cascadia Kolsch is a fantastic beer. Their half-cocked IPA is one of the best in Southwest Washington as well. So they're doing great things over there. Let's go support them.
100%. Well, I am drinking the Tim Time.
And why are you drinking Tim Time, Ben?
Well, because my son and I were bored, and I was like, I don't know what to drink today, and we decided to play a
football match.
Okay, thank you. Yes, we decided to play a football match.
Welcome to the program, Quincy.
A football game, and he won, and he had the Tim Time, and it is. If you haven't had it, it's good. If you like darker beers, I am not a darker beer fan, but this is one of the very few darker beers that I can just drink and drink and drink. So it is a collaboration between the Ben's Bottle Shop Tim there and Trapdoor, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct.
So yeah, it is very good. Canope, what are you drinking, homie?
And I am drinking Worthy Soul Power Pilsner once again. It's delicious. And it's a collaboration between Worthy Brewing and My Stomach.
That's outstanding. Hey, and Canope, you should get over to 5440. They've got a couple of different lagers and a Pilsner on draft over there. So a couple things right up your alley.
I've had their Kolsch. It's delicious. I haven't had any of their food. I haven't had their food, but I've heard it's delicious from a couple people. So.
Sinister Breed, what makes him happy is coffee. So nothing like an 8 p.m. coffee. And my guess is he doesn't sleep a whole lot. But welcome to the show. T Money, what are you drinking? You still working on that Ecliptic, or do you got something new?
Yep.
Yes, ma'am. All right, very cool. So Emily, you are a Business Over Beer alumnus. You've been on the program. Your show is sitting in the can, just getting better with age. We're not sure when that's going to be released, so we're really glad that you took the time to join us a second time. For the benefit of all of our listeners, why don't you just give us the 50,000-foot view of your business and what you're into to kind of kick things off?
Thanks for having me again, guys. So my business, I'm an interior designer, and I specialize mostly in staging homes to sell. And then I also help people who are moving into their new homes, arranging it for, livability. And then I also help people set up their home office space so it works for them.
Outstanding. So, so I would assume your business has been greatly affected by the circumstances of the last couple of weeks, and probably more recently with the governor's new order, the stay-at-home order, shutting down non-essential businesses. Just kind of how are you coping? How have the last 2 or 3 weeks impacted your business, and kind of what are you doing to cope with the situation and try to keep things going on a new normal basis?
Yeah, so it's slowed down quite a bit. And the one I would say blessing in disguise is that I have a lot more time to work on my business rather than just in my business. A lot of things that I've been wanting to get to, when I have quote unquote have the time, So I'm doing that. And then the other thing I'm working on is I'm going to do a webinar for people, since there's a lot of people who are finding themselves working from home now. So I'm going to do a webinar on how to set up that office space. I'm so excited for it. I've been working on it, and I think I should be ready to do it maybe next week or the week after. I'm hoping for, sooner rather than later, because I think it's really important to get that like up and going for people who, especially people who have kids. They find themselves at home and their kids are there. It's a distraction. So how do I make this work for me? How do I still get my work done when there's so much going on?
And
Yeah,
what? Go ahead, dude.
I was just going to say, and so many people are working from home now, and they are not going to go back to the office. This is going to be a permanent situation for a lot of workers as businesses realize that working remotely is feasible. It is something that that they can allow their employees to do, and so it's really important for. That's a really good resource for folks to try to set up an efficient and happy workspace for them. That's awesome. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, me too. Because I definitely I experienced it firsthand because since I work from home, I didn't have a space set up initially. I was just working on the couch on my laptop. Maybe I'd still be in my pajamas, whatever.
Mm.
But when I finally created the designated space for where I work, I find that I'm more productive, I'm more efficient, I'm more motivated, and it's really helped me to separate the personal business, or personal side of my life from my business side. Since you're at home.
Yeah, totally. I mean, we've worked from home for a while now, but for some people, this is all brand new. What, without giving out all of your stuff before your webinar, what are just a couple of tricks that people who find themselves being new to the home working, the whole working at home thing, what are just a couple of easy things they can do to kind of get a routine together?
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing is it's not even a tangible. It's more of a set some business hours and stick to it. I think that that's really important to just decide, and whatever it is that works for you, whether it's, 8 to 5 or if it's noon to 8 or whatever it is, you need to decide what that looks like for you and stick with it. And don't answer emails, don't answer texts, unless it's an emergency. I never had an interior design emergency though. Yet.
So
and then also a designated space, if you can, that, it can be you can close the door so there's no distractions. If possible, I know, not everybody has that ability, but if you can, that's also really beneficial as well.
So Emily, Lori asked a question about whether you can still source furniture, and you said you can. Question for you as well. Can you maybe use an iPad, an iPhone, something with Skype or FaceTime, and look at a room possibly and figure something out for them and have something shipped directly to a client?
Absolutely. Yeah. So what I'm working on is the webinar, of course, is going to be free, and they're going to get a lot of information, a lot of value from that they can actually set up their office space on their own. But if they feel like they need a little bit more help and they want it to be more custom, with their dimensions, and they want to send me pictures or they want to do a video, then that's only going to be, I'm going to offer it for $119 to work with them on that and help them get a more customized plan for their office space.
That's
I think
awesome.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah. So super excited. And I'm hoping that this could possibly be the new norm for me as well. I think it's really important when you own your own business to be able to pivot and be flexible and, sort of change with whatever's happening in that time.
Well, that opens you up to not just the local area, but across the country.
That's what I was thinking too. So I need to come up with a good time for the webinar so people on the East Coast can listen to it, and yeah, I can work with anybody across the nation.
I love that idea.
Thank you.
So what other things do you recommend? Like a lot of people are getting, cabin fever is starting to kick in, especially for those who if you're new to this, I couldn't imagine what this would be like. What sort of things do you recommend, like for alone time? Like what sort of things do you recommend for the business people for? If you're in you're in a smaller, confined area,
Mm-hmm.
what sort of things can people do for their alone time or me time?
Oh, good question. I like to take a lot of breaks. And I like to go outside. I like to go outside, like getting that fresh air and, some sunshine really helps to sort of focus and recenter. So I like to do that.
Drink a 12% stout so that you just don't know what's around you anyway.
Right.
No, but I think a lot of people, it really is. It's important to get alone time, and it, especially even if people don't even realize it, if they go to and from work every day, 5 days a week, and they're used to that, that's alone time. And it's time for them to kind of think. And now all of a sudden, that part is just taken away. And they're around their family, which of course they love, but they're losing that alone time. So I'm just wondering, do you have a way to get your own alone time, or are you still trying to figure that part out?
Well, I mean, it's definitely been different in this situation, but I was going to say, I feel like there's like an opposite problem. It's not necessarily alone time, because I used to work in an office setting. And the problem now is like I'm not surrounded by coworkers who you can socialize with, you can kind of bounce ideas off of. Like they're working, you're working. Whereas when you're by yourself and you're working from home, you don't have a boss there to sort of, not that you need monitored, but it's just you. You're sort of, I feel like you kind of have too much alone time, maybe.
Well, it's definitely a balance. I mean, I've gone to both sides of that, because I just recently started working for myself and just started working from home, and you go through these times where it's lonely because no one's in the house. I'm working out of the house, and sure, you make phone calls and you're doing emails and you're having some interaction, but it does get a little lonely at times. And the days that I get out of the house and I go to a networking event, I have a coffee or a lunch, man, I feel so much better. But now it's the opposite, because now my wife is working from home. Both of my kids are home from school, and I'm used to having my own sort of space and being able to dictate my own schedule. And now it feels crowded. It feels loud. It feels like it's hard to concentrate. And so I've kind of gone from one side of the spectrum to the other. So it's a real thing on both sides for sure. So I'm not sure I found the right balance yet, but it's always about balance in areas of our life. And I think so many of us are trying. That's what we're going through right now, is this feeling of we have to try to find that balance. And that's really tricky right now.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. And like Kayla, like we always say, there is no right answer right now, because this is new to everybody.
Yeah. I would say the other thing that I would really recommend, though, for that, like if you are trying to get that like sort of distance, is like some really good headphones. I know it sounds funny, but I'm being serious, where it's like the noise canceling, and I love music, and so if I could just like listen to some music and do my work and I don't hear the things that are going on around me, like my kids are super loud. They're kids and they're boys, but it's so loud and distracting.
Yeah, my kids should be test subjects for noise canceling headphones.
It's so loud.
They don't know what quiet is. Like their normal level is like quiet to them, I think.
So
this may sound a little strange, but people could reach out to stay-at-home moms and ask how they cope, because the other day my mother-in-law asked my wife, "Hey, how are you doing? Are you doing okay? Are you coping with all this?" And she's like, "Coping with what? This is every day for me. Nothing new here."
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great point, Keno, for sure.
They figure it out. Yeah, they figure it out.
Yeah. Whereas I was like, homeschooling. I saw this on Facebook, so this is not mine. I'm stealing this, but it was homeschooling day 1. I'm trying to figure out how to get this kid transferred out of my class. That's my life.
AM, have you talked to any other business owners, and what are you hearing from them? Are they in good spirits? What's going on?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are pretty like optimistic, and that's the thing that I love about this community and being a part of this community is everybody just really supports everybody. It's like we look out for each other. We're encouraging. We're always asking, because we're all like in this together, right? And it's not just like a handful of us, but it's our whole community is suffering, and yet we're still asking people like, what can I do for you?
Yep, I love it.
So
and
supporting local businesses, any way you can is, I don't know, it's pretty inspiring.
Amen to that.
Well, Ben, you said something a couple of days ago where you were just like, do something small. You don't have to support everybody. You can't support everybody. Do something small, but it's making a difference. It is working. And so if we all just continue to do that to the best of our ability, it's going to work out in the long term. So just keep doing something, whatever you can do, even if it's just putting your arm around your neighbor, even if it's just calling one of your fellow business owners and checking in and seeing how they're doing, and find out what they need and then passing it on. That was something you said yesterday, Ben, that I thought was just so important. Find out what other businesses need and just share it. Even if I can't help them, but share it. And somebody else may be in a better position to help them or give them better support.
Amen, dude. Yep, 100%.
Not only that, the beer industry does collaborations all the time. There's no reason small businesses can't collaborate in one manner or another. And Emily and I have chatted about that in the past as well. So
totally,
those are definitely options.
Yep. What about your specific business? Like, what things are you besides the webinar thing? Are you taking anything? What are you learning about this experience that you're gonna take with you with your business going further?
I think my biggest takeaway is just being prepared and being able to, like I said, like just be flexible and pivot. I think that's the biggest thing. Because if you're sort of stuck where you're at, you're gonna wither away.
Mm-hmm.
So just finding like new and different ways that you can, do your job.
I get it. Cool. Yeah.
Well, Emily, you talked about, working on your business versus working in your business. And I think this is such an important lesson for all business owners, that it's really critical that you spend the time to work on your business. It's so easy to get complacent. It's easy to think that this is the best I can do or all I can do right now. But you have to take the time to work on your business and to think about your business differently, and how else can I reach a larger audience, and it's just really important to take time to do that. And this has been an eye opener for a lot of businesses to do that, and we should take the time, right? We have the time now to do it. Take this as a gift to work on your business and think about it a little differently. We certainly wouldn't be doing this happy hour, this daily live stream without the situation we're in. So we're learning how to reach a broader audience. We're learning how to produce content on a daily basis. You're learning how to reach a broader audience outside of your local geography. So it's an exciting time if you're willing to embrace it and put in the work.
Yeah, I agree. And all those things that, when you're not going through something like this, and you're so busy and you think, oh, if I had the time, I would love to work on this. Now you have that time. Use this time to be beneficial to you and your business. Don't give up. Do those things and move forward. Just keep moving forward.
That's it. You said it right there, Emily. Just keep moving forward day to day. And I think a lot of the biggest changes that I think are going to happen I hope, with smaller businesses, especially in the smaller communities, is the focus on, yes, of course, we want to make money doing what we're doing, but how can we better the community while we're doing what we love? And I think people now are seeing like, hey, no, I can help. I can still have a business and I can make my community better by doing X or doing Y. And you said it. We have the time now. We have it. And it's so important. And like you said, Emily, the community, our community, has just been phenomenal with helping each other out, and I love it.
Yes.
I think about it. I've gone through this. I know others have. Like when you get laid off from a job, or I got laid off back in the fall of 2017. And I've talked to others who've gone through that same experience, and you get so focused on trying to find another job because you feel like your world is caving in, and then all of a sudden you get another job and you go back to work. You're like, man, I had a few months where I could have done something with it, and all I did was spend it trying to find another job. And you kind of look back on it a little longingly, a little bit regretfully, and think, man, I wish I'd have spent more time with my kids. I wish I had done some housing projects or some yard projects or gone on a trip or something. And that's what's so hard about times of uncertainty that we're in, because we don't know how long this is going to last, and it feels like it's going to be forever, but it's not.
Right.
We have this moment right now. We have 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, 6 months, whatever it's going to be, to try to work on our business and do the things that we don't have time to do during normal times.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a gift, and if you take that gift, then good things are going to happen. So
preach,
that
brother,
was
preach.
So inspirational, Jonathan.
Preach.
it's the hair.
And the beer.
I'm in tears over here, bud. I'm in tears. Just wish I could give you a hug.
Hey man, virtual hugs are good too.
But I won't mess up the hair. Promise not to mess up the hair.
Well, hey, we're running up against the last couple of minutes here. I'll just throw this back out to any of our listeners. If you have questions for us, the host, or for Emily, please feel free to shout them out. But Emily, we're so thankful that you took a few minutes to spend with us today. Is there anything else that anybody can do, other business owners, or anything that we can do to try to help you do during this time?
I guess maybe just help me promote my webinar. That's the only thing I can think of, and then just continue doing what you guys are doing. You guys are awesome.
And I would also say, if you have any resources to help small business owners or out of work employees and families, please share those with us. we're trying to curate some of those resources and get them out. So if you have any of those resources, please feel free to share them.
Please.
Love it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Cool. Thank
right,
you,
Ben.
Emily. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Canope. Thank you, Kaler. I miss you guys. I miss seeing you guys, but this I look forward to every single day. Seriously. And we will one day be back together. And when we're back together, it's going to be huge.
No question about it. Thanks
Party
to all
on
our
the
new
other side.
listeners. We appreciate you guys hanging in and learning about what we're all about at Business Over Beer. If you want to find out more about us, check us out at bizoverbeer.com. That's B-I-Z.
Thanks, everybody.
Take care,
See
everyone.
everyone here tomorrow, 5 o'clock Pacific time. Our guest tomorrow is Lynn Sheehan. Lynn is a business strategist, and he has some great resources he's going to share, and he's going to talk about how he's advising his clients during this time of uncertainty. It's going to be an awesome show, so come back, same time, same channel, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 Eastern. We'd love to have you all back.
Deuces.
Thanks, everyone.
Good night.
Business Over Beer reminds you to always drink responsibly. Our theme song is Alley Cat by Soul Shifters. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you at the next Business Over Beer Happy Hour.